All right, we have six speakers here. Of course, the gorgeous speaker that will deliver you a gorgeous material with the topic Read Your Fear, Be a Professional Speaker. All right, before we are going to the speaker's presentation, I would like to inform you about the regulation for EDSA's webinar 2021. This webinar will last for an hour. The only language used to communicate is English. All participants are suggested to take notes during the presentation. All participants must turn off the audio during the presentation. The presentation will be held in 5 minutes for each presenters. The moderator will set the time to remind the presenters. The Q&A session will come after the whole presentation. Questions can be typed in the chat box since the early presentation. Anyone interested in talking directly to the presenters is pleased to raise your hand. We will facilitate you if we still have time. If you could not get your answer, the presenters will send the answer by email. So those are the regulations. And then without any further ado, we will present you to the first speaker with the title Overcome the Fear of Speaking to Groups. It will be delivered by Ariel Gilang. For Ariel Gilang, time is yours.
All right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, moderator, for this opportunity. All right, and hello everyone. My name is Adil Gilang Muharam. Thank you all for coming this afternoon, and I will be your first speaker in this session. On this opportunity, I will share you just a little bit about how to overcome the fear of speaking to groups. Now, before I begin, did you know that the fear of speaking to group is second only to the fear of snakes and the fear of death? So there's literally people out there who are much more afraid of doing public speaking than death itself, which is quite crazy to think about. Thus begs the question, why are people so afraid of public speaking? What are the ways to overcome this fear, right? So there is a first, there is this the reason why people afraid of public speaking. You are speaking to a group of people. The more people you're speaking to, the more anxious you will get. Especially there are people in the crowd who are important, people you are trying to impress. And then comes the effects of fear. And what happened is that so many people, even before they started speaking, their hearts gets beat so fast, their mouth gets dry, they started shaking, they get nauseous, and some even went to straight up fainting, and they start to speaking rapidly, incoherently, thus leads to the fear of looking foolish in front of people. You see, the reason people get anxious when required to speak to a group of people is that they're afraid of looking stupid or looking foolish in front of their peers or in front of their important, people, in front of people. And you see, just imagine your mind goes blank from anxiety and you're just standing there like a deer caught in a headlight doing nothing, like you don't know what to do, you don't know what to say, you don't know what to say, and then you worry people will start to look down on you, people will have lower opinions of you, and then your reliability goes down, and that is humiliated, right? Being humiliated can destroy a person's ego and confidence. You see, it could ruin your day, your week, and to some cases it could ruin your life. So there are the steps to overcome this fear, right? And this is according to Curtis and Anderson. First, we need to be well prepared. For example, we can focus on one major idea, focus on ideas we are most passionate about, and explain it properly and give people a reason to care. Why should people care with your ideas? Steer the audience's curiosity using intriguing and provocative questions, and identify why it doesn't make sense, why it needs explaining, and make your idea worth sharing. The idea needs to have the potential to brighten up people's day, or change their perspective and inspire them to do things differently, preferably better. And then second, you might need a backup plan. However, this is optional because I think we should not rely too much on backup plan or script, for example, because what happens if the backup plan itself goes wrong? You would even become more anxious. So I think the key here is to master the material, practice more and more. Thus, it will reach perfection because practice makes perfect. And then the third is you can reduce the fear of audience by setting a certain mindset. For example, you know that the audience are full of important people, right? So just think of them as no one at all. Or, for example, you can just focus on your friends, familiar faces, thus, you can become much more comfortable when speaking. And then, fourth, you need to relax yourself before speaking, right? You can relax yourself by control breathing, or there is any other way, right? Everyone has their own ways to make themselves relax. The more relaxed you are, the more focused you will be. And then the fifth, there it is, the practice your speech. Practice makes perfect, right? The more practice the more you practice you get, the more flaws you will see. The more time you can fix these flaws, thus it becomes perfect. Practice makes perfect. And then lastly, you need to apply and develop your skill, right? You need to develop your speaking skill. For example, from a beginner, try working your way up. You can first speak to a group of people, a group of friends in classroom, and then start challenge yourself by speaking to a broader audience. After all, the more skilled you are, the less likely it will be for you to be anxious in public speaking. And so, to summarize it all up, and many are afraid of speaking to group or audiences because they are afraid of looking foolish in front of other people. And the ways to overcome this fear is to make sure both you and your material are well prepared and practice as much as you can. And that's all I'm going to share today. And my name is Aragilang Muharam. Thank you all for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Back to you, moderator.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It's such a nice presentation, Arigilang. Thank you so much. All right, everyone, we are going to the next speaker with the topic how to manage our public speaking anxiety. This material will be delivered by our speaker, Dina Amelia. Please.
All right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Firstly, I would like to say thank you for the moderators and also for the all participants that joining this conference. I hope you will get valuable knowledge from this. All right, everyone. I will start my presentation today. Have you ever feel when you want to present your speech in front of your classmates or maybe in the public areas, your heartbeat become faster than before, sweaty palms, your face burns, you feel like you have a fever? That's all are the symptoms of public speaking anxiety. You feel worried about something, afraid if you make a mistake, and also losing your face in front of your classmates. Therefore, on this occasion, I'm Dina Amelia will share with you how to manage our public speaking anxiety. Next. Speaking anxiety, what is that? Have you ever heard about it before? Next. Sochak in 2019 claimed fear of public speaking is a common form of anxiety. It can range from slight nervousness to paralyzing fear and panic. Many people with this fear avoid public speaking situation altogether, or they suffer through them with shaking hands and quivering voice. Public speaking anxiety, also known as glossophobia, according to Russia et al. In 2008, as one of the most commonly reported of social fears. And the question is, why it's happened on us? Next. Chow, in 2018, on his study was found that anxiety resulting from a lack of confidence in speaking and fear of losing face in the public, as I have told you before. The finding of his study showed that higher level of anxiety is constantly associated with lower level of language. Next. Ladies and gentlemen, can you see the pictures? Can you feel something from this picture? I can feel what the child from the picture feels because these pictures describe my experience actually. When my lecturer asks me to present my speech in front of my classmate, I feel headache, and also my I feel shaky leg, red cheeks, and I think I need to go to the bathroom. And from that situation, I realized that I have the symptom of public speaking anxiety. And so, how I overcome this situation? Next. These are the tips for you to help you to manage your public speaking anxiety, and the tips are working on myself. The first tips is knowing your material. Knowing your material is very important, and don't forget to practice, because practice makes perfect is true. Um, you can rehearse yourself in front of your friends or maybe alone if no one available. Make condition as well as possible. Dress the role and staying behind a table. Speak loudly enough for the imaginary listener to in the background to hear you. And also record your presentation, then listen to it and revise as necessary. Segal in 2019 said that practice and review your voice and gesture. Do not memorize your speech, but get comfortable with it and record or watch yourself in the mirror. Look and listen for possible adjustment. The key point is don't memorize your speech, but you should get comfortable with it. And the second tips is use imagining technique. Sit in the right position. Close your eyes and imagine yourself giving your talk. Try to capture all of the sights, sounds, smells, thoughts, and feelings you expect to encounter. And the third one is practice relaxation technique. In that same relaxed position, breathe slowly with your eyes closed. With each exhalation, silently say the word relax. And you can use the same technique as a cue to relax when in front of your audience when you want to start your speech on the stage and you feel anxious. Take a deep breath, close your eyes and take a deep breath like this. You will find yourself more relaxed than before. Next. But ladies and gentlemen, you should know that all the tips that I have told you before will not effective and work if you are keeping negative. Again, Siegel in 2019 claimed one of the ways to rid public speaking anxiety is to change our mindset. Be positive. Stop to think about your pronouns. Stop to think about your grammar. Just focus on your audience. Everything will be okay. Trust me. Next. And in the end, you cannot avoid anxiety, believe me, but you can manage it. That's all for me. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Back to the moderator.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It's such a good and great presentation from Dina Amelia. All right, everyone, as we know in public speaking, we need confidence, and confidence really matters, right? And this material will be delivered by Denisa Yuliani with the topic Be a More Confident Public Speaker. For Denisa, time is yours.
Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to say thank you for all of you to join this webinar. Let me introduce myself. My name is Denis Juliani. In this occasion, I'm going to talk about how to be more confident public speaker through managing your fear. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever felt like you are nervous or you fear when you have to talk in front of people? Or maybe when you have to give speech in the classroom? Well, if you had been in that situation, actually you are not alone because the data shows 73% of population struggles with talking to others. That means 238 million people fear of public speaking. And the question is how we can overcome this fear so we can be more confident speaker. Alright, so there are 3 tips to managing our fear so that we can be more confident speaker. The first is speak up. Take every chance to speak that you can get it. The more you practice, the easier you can get it. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Because Drake in 2007 identified there are 2 mindsets: fixed mindset and growth mindset. Fixed mindset here sees mistake as something that we have to avoid, while growth mindset sees mistake as opportunity to learn, to grow, and to be better in the next try. So to help yourself get over your nervous, your fear, you have to have growth mindset in your mind. Challenge yourself, make a mistake, and learn from those mistakes. Try again using what you learn. This is how we grow and this is how we become better and confident speaker. The next tip is relax and think positively. Oxford in 1990 mentioned that effective filters are essential in language learning because they control us emotion, motivation, feeling, and even value toward the language learning. The same is applied to cope with fear of public speaking. The research that conducted by he in 2018 found that listen to music, meditate, take a deep breath, and then um, had a positive thought about upcoming performance. Or the keyword is the point is being relaxed can reduce fear and rise the confidence. Then the last tips is preparing and organizing. All right, according to Widianti in 2018, found that if you have if you prepare and organize your speech before the presentation, it can reduce fear and rise the confidence. And there are two things to go into being prepared. The first one is you have to know your subject, backward and forward, and then you have to know how you're gonna present it step by step. And the second one is write down your major points of your ideas. And to organize your speech, there are three steps. The first one, make hook introduction that can engage your audience. And the second one is supporting evidence for your argument. It can be state your personal stories or personal experience or something that convince the audience. And then the last is state a memorable statement and sum up your presentation or your speech with a unique way. Make it something that's memorable. All right, so it can be concluded that um, you can be more confident public speaker. You can be more confident speaker to managing your fear by don't be afraid to make mistake. It's okay if you make mistake because you will grow from it. All right, just speak up. And the second one is put yourself relax and stay positive thinking. And the last one, prepare and organize it well because Dale Carnegie says only the prepared speaker deserves to be confident. Alright, that's all from me. Thank you very much for your nice attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'll give back to the moderator.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Danisa. All right, everyone. As we know that skill need to be improved. All right. These materials will be related into the improvisation of our speaking skill. This material title is Improve Your Speaking Skills and Be a Good Speaker. It will be delivered by Aditya Widaya. For Aditya, time is yours.
All right, thank you for the matter. Hello everyone, good afternoon. First, I want to introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Aditya Wijaya, and in this opportunity, I want to tell to you how to improve your speaking skill and be a good speaker. Next slide, please. Okay, first let's talk about what is speaking. According to Lado, speaking is described as the activity as the ability to express oneself in the situation or the activity to report acts or situation in precise words or the ability to converse or to express a sequence of ideas plainly. So, speaking skill is the most important skill to acquire foreign language or second language learning. Yeah, next slide, please. Yeah, I have three steps to improve your speaking skills to be a good speaker. First, basic you must know and do it. Second is speech imitating technique. And the last is build English speaking confidence. All right, next please. Yeah, let's start with number one. Basic you must know and do it. According to Dunlop 2019 about basic To be a good speaker, there are first, expand your vocabulary by learn new words every day. Learning new words day in, day out is a good way to widen your vocabulary, and then improve your pronunciation. When using online dictionaries such as Macmillan and Merriam-Webster, make use of the little speaker symbol to check the pronunciation of any words that you are not sure about it. And then there are English pronunciation tutorial on YouTube or podcasts like English pronunciation pod or American English pronunciation to teach you the many aspects of the American English pronunciation. All right. Next slide, please. Okay, the second step is speech imitating technique. According to Emma 2019, about how to improve speaking with imitation technique, there are first, pick your favorite video with subtitle. Make sure that is something you enjoy watching. And second is listen to it many times. Listen to the video once and read the subtitle to get a good grasp of general content and flow. After that, imitate the narrator sentence by sentence. And the last is listen, pause, speak. Copy the speech pattern as best as you can. If you choose to record your practice, you can compare yours and the original. All right, next slide, please. All right, the last steps is build English speaking confidence. According to Dunlop 2019, to build English speaking confidence, there are first, don't be pessimistic, just speak whenever and however. And second, retell a story in English. Alternatively, you can choose different words to retell a simple story in English. Start from the basics, reading something like fairy tale or a fable. Either way will be beneficial for your English communication skills. And next is participate in public speaking events. Big universe. All right. Participate in public speaking events. Big universities, theaters, and cult societies organize events like open debates, spoken words reading, and improvised storytelling gatherings. These are places where you can come and mingle with like-minded people and practice speaking English. And the last is frequently practice to improve your English speaking skills. Yeah, practice makes perfect. So do speak English in plenty. For example, you can try to practice in front of your mirror or in front of your friend or family first. Yeah, next slide, please. Uh, yeah, that's all from me. Thank you for your attention. I'm Muhammad Aditya Wijaya. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Back to moderator.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Aditya, for such a nice presentation. So, for all participants, we have already listened into our several speakers' presentations, and I hope it will be such a new knowledge and, of course, such a new beneficial things for all of you who already joined into this webinar. All right, next presenters. This material maybe it will be very beneficial for all of you who has interest in advertisement, negotiation, marketing, or something like that, because the materials is about how to persuade like a pro. This material will be delivered by Alfie Akmalia. Time is yours.
All right. Thank you for the moderator. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for staying this convention. I am Albi Akmalia Sakti, your fifth speaker. Let me bring you this amazing story. Barack Obama delivered his speech at the end of 2004 as part of the Senators. He spoke for John Kerry, the presidential candidate at the time. But who knows that his 16-minute speech will make him to become the next president of the United States of America in 2009. Based on the story, we can agree that Barack Obama is incredible and wonderful public speaker, and he has the full level of persuasion skills, and that's why I'm here today, because I want you to know how to persuade people like Barack Obama did, or how to persuade like a pro. Aristotle argues that there are two main keys for persuasion to be truly effective, including passive forces, logical reason, and emotional appeal. But more than the three elements, persuasion efforts can be said to be successful when some validation appears from the audience that's being persuaded. Now, the question might be, How can we bring the self-validation come from our audience through the three main keys that Aristotle has said before? Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the number one, trusted sources. Next, trusted sources refers to how credible you are as a speaker. So your audience will listen to you and they will be influenced by your point of view. Aristotle called this as ethos, which he defined as the Greek word that closely linked to our ethical and ethics words. Campbell and Huxman believe that ethos is not about demonstrating that you, as an individual, are a decent person, but it is about delivering the features that idealized by the culture and group and proving that you have moral decisions regarding the relationship with individuals. For example, an English education student wants to deliver his speech in the room talk about cancer and mental health. Meanwhile, he has no background in medical stuff. Do you think he is capable? Yes, he is capable. But how about his credibility? Unfortunately, he is not credible. But how about this English education student delivers his speech in the room talk about online learning in English education, for example? Of course, he is capable and he is credible. Next, the next key is logical reason, or we can call it as simple as logos. Logos appears in your arguments to support them. When presenting an argument, you begin by establishing a claim that demands a logical jump based on the text provided, right? This is a theoretical that basic argument has three common elements, and they are claim, data, and run. And after you study a basic argument, of course, you need backing for it. And this backing, whether it is example, testimony, research finding, or any other information that is substantial to your argument, they are what I call as logos. Now, after stating your argument, this is the time to play with emotion. Next. Don't get me wrong, everyone, but emotional appeal plays a strong role in every persuasion event. Dillard and Mander believe that human beings are always, underline that, always in an emotional state, which implies that appealing to the emotion of your audience might be crucial in persuading them to accept your proposal. And you can appeal your audience emotion by presenting some examples that illustrate your argument. For example, in Barack Obama's speech at the end of 2004, he gave the information about his family's background and how his family built him to become the man who believes that his dream will come true, and that was wonderful. Now, you have finished the 3 minutes. How about the last one? Next. As I said before, that self-validation appears as the response or the results from your audience through the 3 main keys that you have told before. Therefore, you should pay attention in those, or you will get low self-validation or some backlash from your audience, and I'm sure that you want it, right? Now, that's all I want to share to you today. Next. And then thank you for your attention. This is the references where I got those information, and I will give it back to the moderator.
Thank you very much, Alfie Akmalia. It's such a good spirit for us, for all of you, the participants, and also maybe the speakers that I like promise that I can take a guarantee that this webinar will be such a beneficial webinar. I know that it is also will give you like English speaking experience to make all the participants in here for increasing your English speaking skill. All right, everyone. After we listened into our speaker's presentation before, and then we have the last speaker in here that will deliver the material about a great speaker. Are you ready for being a great speaker, participants? All right, let's listen into the Dwi Azril Ardiano. For Dwi Azril, time is yours.
Okay, thank you so much for the moderator. Hello, I'm Dwi Azaliano Hardali. Greetings from me. And here I want to present my presentation, of course, and the title is Great Speaker. Please, next. And the first thing we have to know about to become a great speaker is what is speaking, because it is the fundamental thing in speaking. So speaking is the process of building and sharing the meaning, the use through the use of verbal and nonverbal symbols in a variety of contexts, right? So I conclude here the first thing that we have to know is speaking is sharing the meaning, giving the meaning. All right. So the first thing, the important is meaning. All right. So we how we come become to be a great speaker. Next, the first thing we have to do is we have to clarify who we are. We have to know that we can do this. We can do anything what we want, and we have to realize that we have the abilities, we have the skill that actually we don't realize it. And the second is we have to knowledge about anything, about many subjects, because the audience that attend the speaking speech is not the same. So we have to knowledge about anything, many subjects. And until this, by far, actually we can get rid the fearness of the nervousness. But if it doesn't work, you just we just have to know that normal nervousness is really, really normal for us. It is not a weakness or anything bad. Okay. So next, and the second step is determine what you want to do. Okay. The first thing is you have to analyze the audience and choose the point that you want to give to them. All right. And the second step is you have to know what they expect from you, what they want from you. And the third is you have to become comfortable as a speaker in front of them. Just let's say they are our friends that ask some solution to us. So we can get rid the fearness of the nervousness, the anxiety of everything. So another that beside that we have to become a knowledge of our proficiency. We have to believe our skill of speaking, so we can do it. All right. And next, and the third one is you have to know how you want to do it, because you have no clue if you don't know how to do it. All right. So the first thing you have to do is you have to become comfortable with a variety of learning approaches, because everyone is have the way of their own to learning. They will learn by watching films, they will learn by reading, listening, by watching, or everything. All right. And become comfortable using a multiple visual genres. All right. And this really important, we have to sequence the ideas in logical in the presentation. All right. So it's like you cannot step on the second stairs before you step on the first stair. All right. You get me? All right. Let's get on. And this is the really, really important that we have to know. We have to be confident using our gesture, using our abilities to speak. We have to be confident. We have to believe ourselves and project ourselves and ideas as important as we think. So it's gonna be make the audience influence what we think. All right. Don't forget to maintain our eye contact, because it's really, really influence what they felt. We will give our feelings to them. All right. And if we scared that, oh, what I have to say, we just take a notes. All right. As a reminders, of course, but you don't have to write it in a big book, or just write it at little notes. All right. And you have to speak extemporaneously. All right. For the maximum effect, because the note that you say, the gesture that you give to them, it will affect them, and it will be affect their feelings it is important or not, it is a beneficial or not, it is have a benefit for me or not by hearing this speaker. All right, and this is how to become a great speaker. And if you guys realize from the first one and the last one, actually I always saying about mindset. So I'm not saying that technical is not important, but let hear about it. Do you know the leader of every national? Do you have any leader that they not feeling they are the leader? They always feeling that I'm the leader, and they have to, uh, and they will listen what I'm saying. So even though they are not, they don't know the technique of speaking, but they can improvise. But the first thing is important is mindset. So keep that on mind, all right? Because this is really important if you want to become a great speaker. So I think that's all from me. Thank you very much. Please next. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Dwi Azril. I hope we will be the great speakers, all people in here after we listen into our speakers' presentations on this webinar today. All right, everyone, Dwi Azril is the last speaker in this webinar. And the next session, we are going to Q&A session. You can put your questions on the chat box and please type to whom your questions addressed, or you can raise your hand until I allow you to turn on your camera and unmute your audio. We have time for this session until 2 p.m. So please give your questions and let's have a discussion. Okay. All right. I would like to see the chat box. I see a question here from Fridayanti Aulianur. All right, for the presenters, you can listen into the question or you can read it on the chat box. The questions is, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Frida. I want to ask to Kak Dina about how to get rid of the thought that people are not interested in our topic just because of their unenthusiastic reaction. Thank you. Okay, the question is addressed to Dina Amelia. For Dina, I place you for answering the question.
All right. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Frida, thank you for your question. It's like a great question. How to get rid of the thoughts that people are not interested in our topic just because of their reaction. Based on my experience, when I feel my audience is not interested with my topic, I think like be optimist. Just be optimist. Like, oh no, everyone, the audience, very interested with my topic, and then maybe be positive. It might be your audience have another problem, so they have bad reaction. Just be positive like that, and make sure you make a topic that can really attract the attention of your audience. So before you present your topic and to your audience, make sure if your topic is very interested and you sure that the audience will be very interesting with that. That's all. Maybe another presenter might be answer the question from Frida.
Okay, thank you, Dina Amelia. Before we are going to the next questions, because there is no question more in here, I would like to please to another presenter for answering the questions. If you have a different question or you want to add the answer, I mean different answer. Okay.
Right.
Dwi? Okay,
right.
I please you.
All right. May I add the answer?
Yes, of course, please.
All right. If people looks like not interested with our topic, it's okay. Uh, just deliver your points and be engaging. For example, you can ask a question for the participant, and then after that you can take a deep breath and then see the audience and smile and ask the question and discuss with the audience. For example, how the experience you're speaking in your class in front of the class. Yeah, for example, for like yeah, that's my answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Dwi Azril. Another presenter who would like to add the answer, please. While I'm waiting for the additional answer from the presenters, I would like to remind to all the participants that this time is Q&A session, so you can put your question on the chat box and please uh, type to whom your question addressed, or you can raise your hand until I allow you to turn on your camera and unmute your audio. Raise your hand in here means like you can see the the icon on the right corner at the bottom, more. You can tap it and then there is raise hand feature. You can use your that feature, and then I would like to allow you to turn on your camera and your audio. Then you can give your questions directly into the presenters. All right, for another presenter, is there additional answer for the first question from Fitri? Fit,
Okay, maybe can I?
yeah, of course, please.
Okay. So I'm gonna add just a little bit. If you want to, I mean, if you feel that the audience is not interested or unenthusiastic for direction, just keep in your mind, just focus what is your mission, because the mission of the speaker is saying or giving the ideas, and it could be happen. Yes, it could be happen, but not for every single audience. It's maybe just of 5 or maybe 10 audience. So just don't think about it, just think about your mission. You have to give it perfectly, and just uh, make the atmosphere really good and make it enjoy. So if even they are not interested, at least they could enjoy your speaking. Maybe that is the for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Azril. All right. I remind for all of you, the participants, that you can put your questions on the chat box and don't forget to type to whom your question addressed. Don't be shy and don't be like hesitate for question for giving the question to us, because it will be such an interactive discussion and joyful discussions. Don't be nervous for like maybe you are what is that, a newbie in English or you are the beginner in English. So just be enjoy this webinar. It will be it will be your new English experience. And this is the time for you participants to improve your English skill, to improve your practice in English. Okay, I still will give you the time for the participant for giving the questions. I will be happy if there's so much question all of you. So we will have such an interactive discussion. All right, everyone. I will give you time for in giving the questions. I will wait on it about 8 minutes for you in giving the questions, and I will give a chance for all the presenters if there is what is that, like any tips and trick related to our topic in our webinar, like radio fear, be a professional speaker. I will give you a chance for like giving additional materials for all the participants in here. All right, finally, we got a question. I'm so happy. Okay, let's see the questions for all the presenters. You can see the question on the chat box. We will see the question together. All right, I will read the questions. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is I'm sorry, I lose my connection. All right. So the question is addressed to all the presenters. For all of you, for the presenters, I mean, you can answer the questions. Who's gonna be the first, please? Because I lose my internet connection, so I cannot see the questions again. So if I'm not mistaken, the question is about how to adapt with our audience. All right. Who will answer the questions from the presenters, please?
Please, can I answer the question?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So, but the first thing I want to ask is, it is to adapt to answer or to adapt to just communicate while uh, the speech is going on. But I'm gonna say it with the first case that we have to answer the question from the audience. Maybe we have to, just like my presentation before, that we have to become comfortable with the knowledge of many subjects. That means we have to know anything, or maybe not maybe, but we have to ensure that we are mastering uh, the ideas or the mm, yes, the idea. So if the audience ask about anything, we of course we can handle it. So the solution of this question is actually from the preparation of our knowledge. If we are not able to answer the question, so it means we have a lack of preparation. And even more, if we felt like that, we could felt like anxiety. We will be nervous. We'll be like, I just want to get out of this event. So maybe that's the right question. We have to mastering the ideas first, and beside of that, we have to know many subject because just like as a presenter, they expect as big as they want, and they need you, right? So don't make them lose the trust to you. All right. So you have to you could become comfortable in any visual genres. We have to in multiple way of learning. Maybe that's my answer. Hopefully it's work for you.
All right, thank you, Dwi Azril. Another presenters,
All right, maybe.
Denisa maybe? Oh, Adit. Okay, Adit, please.
Yeah, for adapt with the audience quickly, I think that's right. What we Azrael said, the key point is preparation. Not about that. You also must know. I mean, make the pointers or notes on what are you going to say, and then practice what you are going to say before your present or your to be presenter. Yeah, that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Adit. All right, I would like to ask to uh, the the person who gave the questions because I cannot see the chat box, the last chat box. Okay, is that enough? Is the answer clear? Or maybe another presenter will add the answer. All right, we will move to the next questions from Susan Supriyatin. When we want to be able to speak fluently, what things that we have to come first? Speak without a rule or make sure we have to know rules such as grammar before speak? That's the question. So presenters, you can get prepared for answering the questions. It's about, I explained the question again. It's like speaking without consider any kind of grammar, or we have to consider grammar first and then we exercise our speaking. So that's the question. We'll answer the questions.
May I answer the question?
All right, please.
All right. So the question was, what things that have to come first? Speak without a rule, or make sure we know the grammar first before we speak, right? Uh, well, this including to my own experience, right? I do not claim I am fluent in English, right? But as far as my experience, when I speak, I do not think too much of grammar. I usually focus on communicating, on delivering what I'm going to say to the person the target person. So it's just like learning any other languages. If you are in Indonesia, I'm sure you have native languages such as Sunda or Indonesia or whatever, and I'm sure you learn that language. You don't think of you don't think too much of the grammar on how to say it and how to say it. You just say it. One day your grammar will come naturally to you. I think the more important thing first to do is do not think too much on the grammar. Just be more confident. Just deliver what you want to say to the person as much as you can. Explain it as much as you can. Just that's all I think for me. Thank you for the question, by the way.
Okay, thank you for answering the question, Ariel Gilang. All right, I think it answers the question. And then we have a person who will give the question here, Sandra Amelia. All right, you are pleased to give the questions.
All right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello. I'm Sandra Amelia. I would like to firstly, I would like to appreciate all the presenters that delivered the beneficial and great topics. And my question here is how to maintain professionalism to be a good speaker when we, in certain condition, for example, forget or blank what are going to talk about, but we want to maintain our professionalism to be a good speaker. That's my question. Thank you in advance.
All right, thank you, Sandra Amelia. It's like when we suddenly got stuck, and then what we have to do, what we have to make, what kind of, maybe it's like maybe exercise or any kind of tips and trick how to handle that situation. And then the presenters who will answer the questions.
May I answer the question?
Yes, of course, Ariel Gilang, please.
All right. So when you're doing a speech, right, for example, and then you forgot what you're going to say, right? That is terrible. And perhaps you can have some backup plan, for example, if you forgot what you're going to say, you have, contingency plan, what you're going to do. Or perhaps you can just prepare two materials. For example, there's the main materials, the materials you are going to deliver, and then when you goes blank, you can just move to other material, for example. But uh, in my opinion, yeah, when you're speaking, when you're in public speaking, and you forgot what you're going to say, right? I think that means you are unprepared. You see, when you master the materials you are going to deliver, such things will never happen to you. I assure you. So I think rather than sticking to backup plans or script, you see, do not be perfect, do not try to be flawless, just try be confident, just master the materials you are going to deliver. Do not think like you need to, I need to do the script, after this I'm going to do this, after this I'm going to do this. Do not do that. That is disastrous. That will make you much more anxious. The more anxious you get, you will just become blank. That is why people forget what they're going to say, because usually they're just too anxious to think, and so yeah, I think we should prepare before the speech happens. And if you are really, really stuck in speech and you don't really know what to say, I don't know what to tell you. That's just embarrassing. Perhaps you can apologize to the audience, for example, and you know just leave, or just look at the word, like the PowerPoint. Oh, that's my point. Then you remember. You can do that, for example. That's my answer, I think. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ariel Gilang, for answering the questions. And then we will another answer. We will listen into another answer from Dina Amelia, because blank while we are delivering the presentation or in our public speaking is like one kind of symptoms in public speaking anxiety. So it is related into our speaker's presentation. Dina Amelia, please.
All right, thank you for the moderator, and thank you for Cassandra for the question. Stuck when you speak in front of the audience, it's a part of anxiety, and I have the experience about that. When I speak in front of the great audience, I feel stuck and forget about what should I say next. And the way to read that is, as I have told you before, when you feel anxious in front of your audience, just close your eyes and take a deep breath. and that is very work on myself, and you might be try it on yourself. I hope it will help for you. That's all for me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dina Amelia. How, Sandra? Is it clear enough for answering your questions?
Wow, that's very beneficial question answer. I mean, that's a beneficial answer. And thank you very much for the presenters. That answering my question is very satisfying for me. Thank you, and thanks for the chance to deliver my question.
All right. You're welcome, Sandra. And then, uh, all right. I forgot about the time. We have our time is over right now, and now is at 2 o'clock one. And then, all right. Before I end this webinar, because we have already in the end of our time, I would like to give the conclusion about our webinar today. It's like how if we got uh, unwanted reaction from our audience, and the answer is just be optimistic and then analyze our audience interest, and then you can make or such interactive communication with the audience like questionings or something like that, and then focus on what's your mission and purpose. And then preparation in public speaking is very needed. Don't forget to take a note if you think that you what's that you need it. And then best exercise to speak fluently is don't think grammar too much. Just deliver what material you want to give to our audience. And if we got stuck or blank while we are delivering our presentation, uh, backup plan, please. You have to have like plan A, plan B, and such another plan, and then it can be helped by take a deep breath. So that is the conclusion of our today's webinar. And then I would like to say thanks to all participants who already joined this webinars. And then I would like to say big thanks to all the presenters here that has already delivered the material with gorgeous and fabulous. And then before I end this webinar today, I would like to all of you unmute your audio because I would like to all of us in here to make our topic today as a tagline. Okay, if I say you be a professional speaker, are you ready? Please, all of you can turn on your camera and then turn on your audio. Okay,
Okay.
ready?
All right.
I will count from
Or
3 to 1. If I said real fear, please answer be a professional speaker. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Radio fear, be
be
a
a
Be a
professional
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 speaker.
speaker.
speaker. All right, thank you so much for your kind attention. I'm Asiti Mardia as your moderator on today's webinar. See you on the next webinar series of End Council. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Oh yeah, can
Oh
the
yeah.
participant, would you please to turn on your camera because I will take it.
Okay. Okay. I forget to take a screenshot. Okay, for all the participants, you can turn on your camera because we will do documentation for make such a memorable webinars.
Yes.
Okay, please turn on your camera.
All right, I will count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you for the first slide, and for the second slide. 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much for your kind attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye, everyone.